Thank you. How's it going, everybody? Give it up for yourselves, guys, coming out here supporting this great local Baltimore comedy scene. Or as I call it, training for DC. I'm sorry. I'm a little off. I'm not used to performing for urban audiences, so my name is Mike Moran. And of course, when I was a kid, you know, other kids would make fun of my last name, and they'd call me, what would they call me? Yeah, I think you were one of those kids, weren't you? No, they would call me Moran, you know, which was hurtful, because that's not just my name, you know, that's my family name. Like, my grandfather came to this country literally with $14 in his pocket and $80,000 in his bank account. The man worked for years in a factory, all right? A cheesecake factory. And when he was called to serve and fight for what was right, he went and fought in WWE. His wrestling name was the Whooping Cough. Now, that was always one of those terms that confused me, you know, like one of those historical terms I always got wrong in history class growing up, right? Like WW2, not a wrestling federation, right? Women's suffrage, exact opposite of what it sounds like, right? And most disappointingly, the Underground Railroad, spoiler alert, you guys, not an actual Underground Railroad. Was I the only one who was gravely disappointed to learn that? Are some of you just now learning that the Underground Railroad wasn't an actual Underground Railroad? I mean, don't get me wrong, what Harriet Tubman did was incredible. You know, like she escaped to slavery, then she went and got more slaves and took them to freedom and did it again and again and again. I have difficulty finding the willpower to fill up the ice trays after I use them, you know? Like, it's a triumph of the will for me if I can put the toilet paper on the little roller instead of just resting it on top, you know? So it's not like I can talk. But there had to be at least one slave who was as confused as I was, right? Like, there had to be one guy who was like, oh, good, we're leaving on the Underground Railroad. Where's baggage check? Did you guys want to stop by the Cinnabon? Or, oh, it's a metaphor. By underground, you mean above ground, running from angry dogs, slave catchers, and the Fugitive Slave Act. And by railroad, you mean hundreds of miles of rough terrain with no shoes on. That's fun. Can we still get that Cinnabon? What else is going on, guys? You all hear Tim Allen died? Oh, good. I didn't hear that either. Did you guys see that new Rocky movie? Anybody see that? Did you see it? It was good, wasn't it? Well, it stars Scottie B. Pippen, and it's actually about Rocky training Apollo Creed's son, and it was actually really good. Like, the only thing I didn't like about it was the title. Like, they couldn't decide if they wanted to call it Rocky 7 or Apollo 14. So they called it Creed, right? And it's like, there's no way that I'm telling people that I went to go see Creed, you know? Like, I'm not admitting to spending $14 to see Creed. There's just no way. And also, where are the Roman numerals, right? Isn't that 30% of why you go to see a Rocky movie? To learn a new Roman numeral? You know? Like, was I the only kid growing up who only knew his Roman numerals up to however many Rockies there were at the time? Right? Like, without Rocky, I would know that I is 2, right? V was 4, right? Right? And then weirdly, 6 was BALBOA. You're right to not encourage my mediocrity, you guys. I'm just going to wrap it up on this. I had a little bit of an ugly incident recently. I got into an argument with a homophobic person. And the argument they were giving me was that homosexuality is wrong because it's unnatural, because we're the only animals in the animal kingdom that practice homosexuality. And I said, all right, that's a fine point. Now here's my rebuttal. And I threw my own feces at him. And I ate his young. All right, guys, my name's Mike Moran. Thank you so much for coming out. You rule.